Hey everybody, it is Colin and Jose. Welcome into Talk and Ball. Jose, good to see you, buddy. As always, hopefully work went thumbs up and not thumbs down. Work's never fun, but it's Thursday, man. The week is almost over. We're a day closer to Spurs back in our lives. So yeah, man, work thumbs up or thumbs down today? Yeah, that's Mr. Positivity. I like it. I'm getting ready to be bald faced like you, Jose. I have an appointment to get a haircut and a beard cut, and it's all coming off. So we're about to be the bald faced brothers here.
Why? What do you mean you had to make an appointment? Can't you just shave your own beard or what?
Yeah, I mean I can, but I want my haircut too, so I'm just going to do both. And they'll make sure I don't miss it.
Are you going to a proper barber then?
Yeah, and they're gonna use the straight razor and yeah, good stuff.
The last time I used a straight razor or got a barber to do that, I was best man at a wedding.
Yeah.
It's many moons ago now, but I was best man at a wedding, and the night before the wedding, I went to the barber. It was a black an Afro barber. Yeah. And I went to them, and I got a number 0 all round.
Yeah.
So I chopped my hair off, so I went in like Uncle Fester. So I dressed up in the 3-piece tuxedo suit, that cream suit that I had to wear.
Yeah.
I looked like the king of Siam, but I also had a number 0 done. So that's a point. After shaving the whole of my face and the whole of my head to 0, they then had to put alcohol on my head. It stung like hell.
Keep you from getting all that irritation and all those red marks and stuff. Yeah.
So that's the last time I had a barber shave, was to be the best man at a wedding, and I went in with Uncle Fester. So there we go.
I wish I had pictures. If we had pictures of that,
the shock on people's faces.
I bet. So before that, you had hair, I guess. Before
I had hair, I had a goatee, I had all sorts, and
man, nobody recognized you. I'm sure. They were like, "Who's this guy crashing our wedding?"
I did it the day. Did I do it the day before? Or was it the day of the wedding?
Shit, it was the day of. That's crazy. Yeah.
No, it might have been the day of the wedding, because it wasn't. It was the day before, because the night before that we'd been out drinking. So the last night. So instead of the day before the wedding, we did it 2 days before the wedding. So the night before the wedding, I had the number 0 done.
There you go. Perfect. Like I said, too bad we don't have pictures of this. Would love it. I also wanted to say before we get jumping right in, thanks to all members for their channel support, and everybody that supports the channel in any way. Thank you guys. We appreciate you big time. And it looks like there's already a couple people that have commented, so I want to say hello to those fine people. Adrian Soroka, ever present Adrian, as I call him, saying good afternoon on both channels. Look at that, everybody. And I put it in the description of the video today. I put in the description of the video the link to your channel, Jose, and I'm going to put it in the comments or in the chat right now as well. But Adrian's here. We've got Chang in the building, who says 24 hours away from the new 2024 Lunar New Year of the Dragon here in Asia. The clip of our final training session tomorrow before kickoff in 47 hours will give us a clear indication if Sun starts or not. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll start that because I just want to talk more about Sunny. But yeah, big up Chang for being here. Chang is sacrificing his sleep to hang out. So Chang, big up, man. We hope you are well. Dekaru is just letting me know that I am messed up on my times. So it is currently 3 a.m. and not 2, as my thumbnail would suggest. So Dekaru, I appreciate you. Sorry about that.
Okay, so what it is, and I'll say this again, is in Australia,
many time zones.
So when you start from here, from the east of Australia, I believe it is, going towards the west, there's 3-hour time zones. So there's 8, 9, 10, 11. So Dekaru must be this side because he's on the 11. But we do have people from Australia from the 8-hour zone, and Malaysia all on the 8-hour zone.
Yep. So big up, Dekaru. Awesome having you here. And look at this, Lee Smithy Smith in the house saying, "Hola, Jose and Call. Hola, amigo. Hope you are well, Mr. Lee Smithy Smith." And then here, everybody, if you haven't already done so, please head on over to this link here, youtube.com/@LTLCockerel. That is Jose's personal channel. And just get over there. We're trying to grow those numbers as well, everybody. So, do the thing. Get over there. Push the buttons. You guys know what to do. You're smart people. So, yes, there is that. Spurs, though. Spurs. We played the funny video the other day of the kind of the roasting, I guess you could say, of the fit that Emerson was wearing, and there's been some more roasting. The vibes around the team look immaculate, I was saying, and I wanted to show this video. So let me make sure the music is turned down and we can hear it. But there's another one of those like from yesterday, and I want to make sure that it gets played. So
too hard or dip too bad, bro? Sumia, this is dip too hard or dip too bad, bro?
Dip too very hard, bro.
Very hard.
You dip too bad.
No, this is drip too bad. Drip too hard. This is very expensive, eh? Hey, this is Louis Vuitton, man. Drip too hard, bro. We're here, bro.
Already, huh?
There you go. And I've spied Basuma. So for one, it looks like the team's having fun. I like that everybody looks like they're having a fun time. They're all getting along. Everybody looks to be good friends, and that's what you want. That's what you want in the locker room. But I spied what I'm sure you spied, Yves Basuma, and he looked okay. So I'm sure you heard during international duty all of the rumors that Basuma may have contracted malaria. That's not a very good thing to have. I'm gonna guess though, seeing him here, maybe means he doesn't or didn't. I know that. Yeah, I don't know tons about malaria. Are you a malaria expert, Jose?
Well, Ash and Chang did their view from Asia on Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Yesterday morning, and I guess I came on for a little short time, so I didn't have to ask the questions. I guess questions could be asked of me, so role reversal to what I normally do. So I went on their show because it's their time, and I asked this question about malaria. And apparently there are two types of malaria. One, cranial, if I remember rightly, malaria that affects your brain area and that, and one that affects your body system.
Okay.
So Basuma's one is the body one, and the body one usually it manifests itself where you get fever, cold and flu type symptoms, or flu type symptoms where you get fever and stuff like that. And usually a normal human being can rid themselves of it inside of 3 weeks.
Sweet. Right? Okay, yeah.
But what Ash did say as well is what we're talking about, because I turned around and said, I don't know about this malaria stuff, but he had malaria after the first game. After the first game of the AFCON, they said that he had malaria and that he came off in the first game. I don't know, he played 80 minutes and then came off. Then we were told he had malaria. Then he played the next game and the game after, and he's played every game since. Although not be it full games, he's played parts in all the games. So I was thinking to myself, well, how serious is the malaria going to be? Because he's still playing football. So what Ash said is that you'd expect that a normal human being takes about 3 weeks to recover. But because these people are athletes, their bodies would be far more adapt to clearing it up quicker than the normal person, getting it. So at the end of the day, it's down to the medical team to check him out on that. But to me, if he's in that video, which he was, and he's laughing, joking, and he hasn't got masks on, and no one around him is wearing blue suits with oxygen,
hazmat suits or anything,
and there's no oxygen tents up and that, I presume that he must be all right.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same
thing. Otherwise, you're passing. Well, I don't think you can catch malaria through touch. Malaria can only be caught by being bitten by a mosquito. So
Yeah.
unless there's mozzies at the training ground, then it looks like it's all right.
He's okay. Well, good deal. I was pretty scared when I heard that initially. You think malaria, especially to us uninitiated people that don't know anything about it, it sounds like a big deal. Like you were saying, it sounds like something that would be keeping him out of the squad. I mean, it sounds at least like COVID level bad, but it doesn't appear to be, thankfully. And like you said, not contagious like COVID. Like it's not going to spread to the entire team, which is wonderful. And wait, you guys call them mozzies, by the way? I almost missed that.
Yeah, mozzies.
Mozzies. I love it. I'm going to start saying that all the time now. Thank you. So, yeah, there's mad mozzies in Indiana during the right time of year. But no mozzies in England.
But they bite you. They bite you. They don't give you malaria, do they?
No. We have this thing called West Nile virus. I'm sure that you guys have that over there, too. It's kind of
what? Never heard of it. Western Nile virus.
No, West Nile virus, and it's a thing that mosquitoes carry. Maybe you guys are lucky, don't have it there. But anyway, enough mosquito talk. That's enough talk about mosquitoes. But guys, it looks like Basuma's fine. That's the main thing. Big up Basuma. Before we get too far away, Lee Smith said that he rates Basuma's drip. I don't know. It was a little much for me. It was a little loud for me, but if I had the money, maybe I'd wear it. Dakar was saying that Ash talked about it from experience. It was good. Big up to Dakar and Ash, and Chang and everybody. Big up to everybody, all around, everyone in the world. Big up. Audio Artisan though is in the house as always. Big up, Audio Artisan. We appreciate you, good sir.
Afternoon audio.
Yes. All I know about malaria is it nearly killed a sort that is known as Cheryl Cole. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a Google on that
Smithy, I knew that's why I didn't want to read it. I knew that Colin wouldn't understand what your lingo is, what you're talking about.
No, I have no clue.
Assault means a good looker. Assault.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's why
a fit bird named Cheryl Cole.
I was gonna let you talk about it, so that's why I let you take it.
Yeah,
I'd already seen what he put in there. And I thought,
and you got it instantly. You're like, I'm gonna let this yank.
Straight away what it was, but I'm gonna let Colin. I'm gonna let Colin talk about it and
give it his best. Yeah.
It made me Smithy look. It made me chuckle because I knew what was going on, but Colin read it out and didn't know what was going on.
that smile from Jose is mischievous and it's real. He's that is the most I've seen him smile today, Lee. So nice job, bro. But Quez Ali's in the house saying big up to Quez. And then Cosmic Sean, who I've already seen today in real life. Big up, Sean. Thanks for tuning in. You said you would. I'm glad you're here, brother.
Hi, Shawnee. Hope you're well, mate.
He is a real one. Helps me with everything I need help with. Big up to Sean. And then we got Ronnie in the house saying Bis dancing and then training looks good to him. Yeah, man. I've also heard that if you've had malaria before, that it's maybe not as bad. Getting it later, getting it again, consecutive times or whatnot. So that could be a thing. Quez is giving us a thumbs up. Right back at you, brother. Ronnie saying big up. Of course, Ronnie, you're the man. And then Bob Down Under is in the house. Bob, what is up? Bob. He said, morning, lads. 3:16 a.m. here in Canberra. May not have allowed Canberra. Thank you. May not have allowed for daylight savings. That's probably my issue there.
Bob and Dekaru are from the same part of Australia in the time zone, but they're 11 hours. They're 11 hours ahead of us at the moment. So 4:16 for me it is 4:16 p.m. They're 11 hours ahead. It's 3:16 in the morning for them.
Yikes. Well, thanks for tuning in, Bob.
So they're basically 17 hours in front of you, Colin.
Yikes. That's crazy. It's the future there. So it's ninth.
But when you look at Chang and someone like David Shear, Chang being in Malaysia and David Shear being in the east coast of Australia, they're on an 8 hours. So they're currently 17 minutes past midnight. But with Dakar and Bob Down Under, they're over the other side. They must be on the west. And therefore they're 11 hours ahead.
Well, you guys, all I can say is thank you so much for tuning in at such a bonkers time. You're good people. Bob, appreciate you, man. Big time. And then Dakar is saying, as Ash mentioned, 2 types of malaria. He has the non-serious kind, thankfully. Big up, guys. Dakar saying he got home not too long ago from a trip to Simple Minds at the Sydney Opera House. We are East Coast. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. That sounds fun. Whoa, and look at this. Look at this. For one, Pranvat is here. Pranvat, my dude.
Pranvat.
What is
How are you,
up?
mate? Hope you're well.
Yes, always good to see you, Pranvat. And then Shanada's here.
Another one that's on the 3:17 a.m. time zone.
Yes, I should go
Good
to
evening,
sleep too,
Shanata.
but I'll keep this stream on to support the show. Shanata, I appreciate you, homie. Thank you big time for
Thank
your
you
support.
to Bob down under Dakar and Shanata because it's very late for you guys.
Pranvat too, probably.
Yeah, Pranvat, I'm not sure. I think Pranvat might be only 4.5 hours ahead. I think Pranvat may be in India.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Pranvat,
So
let us know, though. Let us know what time it is.
That'd be 5.5 hours ahead. So that would make it 10 p.m. or coming towards 10 p.m. 9:47, 9:49, 9:49. I think it is in India at the moment.
Interesting. See, you guys are real troopers, and Jose is a trooper for knowing all of these time zones. He's got them down. Bob Down Under says yes, not normally up this early except for games. Well, Bob, seriously, we appreciate you, man. And speaking of games, what a segue! What a nice way to say this. Brighton at the weekend. Can we get a result? And our fans, myself included, underestimating Brighton. If you'll remember, think back all the way to the last time we played Brighton. It didn't exactly go the way we wanted it to go. So yeah, I'm curious to know what the chat thinks, and myself include. I mean, I'll answer this one too. I'm kind of stole this question from Jose. Actually, he was talking the other day about how maybe Brighton are being underestimated a little bit. People are giving their predicted results for Brighton. We didn't exactly have an easy time. Let's just say that the last time that we played them. And so I'm wondering if we can do it, if we've got what it takes, if we're, what do you think? Do you think fans might be underestimating Brighton a bit, Jose? They're a great team. I mean, they play great at times. Obviously, they're not, top of the table or anything, but they've gotten some results. They've gotten some results this season.
So what I'm going to say about Brighton is I'm actually looking at the previous results against them. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when I look at Brighton Hove Albion, it appears to me that they give us a hard game all the time. And it appears that they sometimes do a number over us.
Yeah.
However, we've only played them in the Premier League. We started playing them in 2017, so obviously they'd come up that year, and in all that time we've played them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times we've played in the Premiership. Obviously this will be the 14th time, so that'll make it 7 seasons that we've played them now, and in that time we've played them 13 times. We have won, or no, so we have lost 4 of those games. We've drawn.
That's a pretty good record.
We've drawn 1 of those games, so that means we beat them 8 times. So in the 17-18 season, we beat them 2-0 at home, and we drew 1 all away. 18 season, we beat them 2-1 away and 1-0 at home. In the 19 season, and I remember this game really well. At their ground, they beat us 3-0, and we beat them at the Lane 2-1. Then the following season, 2020-2021, we beat them 2-1 at home and lost 1-0 away. And then 2022 season, we beat them 2-0 away, but we lost 1-0 at home. And then last season, we beat them 1-0 at their ground and we won 2-1 at home. This season, on the 28th of December, we were beaten by them 4-2. Now, if I remember rightly, in that game, we were 4-0 down after about 60, 70 minutes.
Sounds it, yeah.
We were being played off the park. We were run ragged. We were getting smashed by them. And they completely tore us a new one. And we ended up 4-2. And I can't remember who it was. But is that the goal? Is that the game that Dyer got a disallowed volley?
I honestly can't remember. I do remember that goal.
It was 4-3. It could have been 4-3.
Yeah. You're right, 100%.
He might have got disallowed volley in that game, but it could have been 4-3, and yeah, we were at it for the last 15 to 20 minutes, including the added on time. So yeah, it's normally a tough game against them. Now, since De Zerbi and before in Potter, Brighton have matched up pretty well against the top sides in the sense of how they play against top sides. Now, we have now got a full squad. Yes, we've got a full squad to pick from. Now that I've seen the photographs that you showed earlier about Biss, it tells me Biss is fit for selection. I believe some will be fit for selection. So the squad that we've got this week will include all 11 players that would have been in the majority of the games for our 10 unbeaten run at the start of the season. So after the 10 unbeaten run, we lost. Who did we lose? We lost Basuma to suspensions. We lost Udogie to suspensions. We lost Romero to suspensions. We lost Van der Ven to injuries. So we had Madison to injuries. So all these players are now back within the squad. The only additions that we've got from the first 10 matches is we have the addition of having Dragusin being brought in, and we have Werner that's been brought in, and we also have Bentancur, who was not around at the start of the season. So therefore, what we now have is we now have a fully fit squad. I mean, there hasn't been a presser today. The presser's tomorrow. Be interesting to see what Andrew's got to say, because the only players that I can see that are still out at the moment are Gio, Cess, Solomon.
Look at this comment that came right as you were saying that. Bob Donovan saying, have you heard as well that Son, Biss, and Gio and Manor might be available?
Okay, so, Bob, as I said, I've not seen, because there's not been a presser yet, but the only players that I know that were still injured up until the last game were Gio, or Monito as I call him, Monito, Manor, and Cess were the three players that were still out with injury. Now, even leaving them three out, we look far stronger as a squad, having everybody that we've got in the squad at the moment. So with that being said, my brutal, honest opinion is that we've seen us play in bit parts. We've seen us struggle and get results. We haven't played Angeball for a full 90 minutes of any match this season.
Correct. I agree completely.
We want to see Angeball, and for me, Angeball is the first 11 that play and the 5 subs that he has coming off the bench to keep the intensity up. My personal opinion is I'm hoping now that we start from this weekend and we put a shift in against Brighton, because Brighton will match up pretty well against us. They like to move the ball. They like possession football, and they pick a system near enough, more or less, the same as what Tottenham kind of do. So it'd be an interesting game. But
they're not going to sit back for sure.
No,
yeah, that's.
I want to see us go out, take the ball by the horns, and actually go at them, and actually put them to the sword. That's what I want us. That's what I want us to happen on Saturday. And we've got a full squad. For me, and I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to say. For me, we're still learning under Ange, and we continue to do so for the rest of this season. But after all the coaching sessions and all the training and everything they're instilling into the players, sooner or later we've got to get this right, and it's got to start twigging to the players. And I'm hoping it starts from this weekend. The other thing is, last night Chelsea beat Villa in the FA Cup, which means Villa are now out of everything. Apart from the only thing Villa have got is Villa still in Europe, but it gives them more space to think about the league as well. So the fight for them places in the league with Villa will probably be harder than what it was.
Intensity, yeah.
Than what it was had Villa stayed in the FA Cup. Although bearing in mind they're still in Europe, and I think they want to do well in Europe as well. So, with us not playing in anything else other than the league games now, in the past, we have said that other teams, a la Leicester, a la Chelsea when they won the league, they didn't have any European football at all, and these guys went on to win the leagues. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to go on to win the leagues, but what I'm saying is that we're going to be playing once a week, right? And we've got a fully fit squad. Let's start drilling teams. Let's start doing what we need to do, And
Exactly.
all this training and all this coaching that Ange and the team have done, it needs to start hitting home. And for me, if Ange is openly saying, if Ange is openly saying that he believes defensively, as a unit, as a team, from back to front and front to back, we're defending quite well and we're doing quite well, and we've picked up a lot there, and then says that in the final third of the pitch we're making the wrong decisions and we're not finishing our actions, then what we need to see is that on the training pitch, this squad is now doing what it's meant to be doing, and we've got to start from this weekend, and we've got to start tearing teams up. Also, what we've got is we've got the crowd. The crowd will be immense again. I can't stress enough how crowds are really important to teams. Some other teams in the league play on their crowd, and their crowd becomes their 12th man. Well, we need the crowd to become our 12th man as well, at home all the time.
100% agreed. 100% agreed. And you're right.
Hi, just a harmless potato. Sorry.
Yes, just a harmless potato. And
good afternoon,
Elias.
Good afternoon, Elias. How are you, mate?
Hey, both wonderful people. Glad to see you both here. But yeah, we constantly talk about, sometimes with our thin squad, how Europe is has been almost a hindrance to us in the past. Not, but to our league position. So we need to take advantage of that. If it works that way, it needs to work the opposite way too. And only having the league to focus on needs to benefit us. We need to make sure that we are using that to our full advantage. I completely agree with you there. Sorry if you hear that. There's a weird siren going on outside my house. Weird. I can think it's a fire truck. But anyway,
sure it's not the police coming to arrest you, Colin.
No, I am not sure. I think it's not.
They're going to tell you to take you to the bail house and hold you there until you get your hair cut and your beard cut.
I'll leave the camera on if it is them, and you guys can see me getting arrested. That would be cool. That would get us some views for sure. But yeah, Bob Down Under thinks Son back in training and around the team will make a big difference, even if he is rested. Yeah, he's so professional.
He's so positive that, just to see his face lights up a room, doesn't it?
Surely
and
does.
Yeah, he's our captain, number one captain. I know we've got three, but he's our number one captain.
The real captain.
And yeah, that'll be great to have him back.
Do you know that movie with Tom Hanks where the boat gets taken over by those pirates? You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that movie? It's a fairly recent one. This guy, though, he says, "Look at me. I am the captain now." And I just imagine Sonny is saying that to everybody.
But I think everyone knows he is the captain. That's the only thing he's been at the Asia Cup. I think everyone knows he's the captain now.
Oh yeah, they do. He's just coming back and kind of throwing his balls on the table and saying, "Look at the guys, come on, like I'm back, let's go."
And you got Wayne Bonner in the household, and you just missed Wayne. You missed his comment. There's Wayne. Hi, Wayne.
Wayne, sorry about that. That was a total accident. Wayne says, "Get our strongest team back out on the pitch, make the right subs at the right time, and playing our glorious football, and we'll win the game." I like the positivity, Wayne. I like it, and that kind of brings me into another.
You got Ronnie saying, "Let's get the win." I really don't like Brighton.
Is that because of De Zerbi, or do you just not like the way they play? I'd be interested in why you don't like Brighton. I think De Zerbi's a freaking tool, so. That's why
and Dekara says that's a nice stat with the players back.
Hell yeah, Dekara, it surely is. And then we got smiles from Just a Harmless Potato. What positivity! I love it. It's positivity in here is palpable. You can feel it, you can taste it. So yeah, everybody. Hopefully the team is feeling this as well. But I think they are. I think that's where our positivity is coming from. I also want to talk a little bit about just Ange and what I admire about the guy. His plan B is just to do plan A better. And I like that. I like that this guy literally has no, you know what I mean? We do see, I've seen him try to close out some matches, which I didn't really expect him to do. You know what I mean? We've seen him throw in it like a defender, or take off an attacking player like late in the game to try to look like preserve leads. I don't think that's a very Ange thing. I don't know if we're going to see that a lot. I think that might just be circumstantial, necessary at the time, since we haven't exactly got, like you said, Ange ball drilled into us, it seems like, yet. But yeah, just do it better. Just play his game better. And I really respect that from a manager, that they've got so much belief in themselves and the way that they do things. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Like you said, we haven't seen 90 minutes of Ange ball, but if we did, I don't think there's many teams that could contend with that. I really don't. With the squad that we've got playing Ange ball for 90 minutes, Yeah, I mean, we should. I guess what I'm saying is we should be turning Brighton over and really giving it to him. And I think we could, but we could also not. It's scary. This is a Spurs team that's the inconsistency of them is worrying me a bit right now. But again, we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. I also want to put in the private chat something for you, Jose.
So basically, what I say to the people that are watching is, let's say for argument's sake, right, everyone's fit and available, and we would start the match against Brighton with our strongest team, right? Then that would leave us for the bench, right? This is where it makes a difference. That would leave the bench with, at the moment, if players are all fit and available to pick from, Forster's your keeper. You could then have Skip, Højbjerg, Dragusin, Bissouma, Hill, Royale, Lo Celso, Sessegnon, Brennan Johnson, Manor Solomon, Ben Davies. That would be your bench. Now it looks like if you've got if you've got all your players that your first 11 out there, then look at the bench becomes. I'm sorry, you forgot Dane Scarlett. You've got Donnelly. Your bench becomes that much stronger because you've got your players back. Good afternoon, Dragon D Nuts. Yeah, Bissouma looks like there was a video that we played earlier of him today. It's all over Twitter at the moment, and he looks like he's available because he's in the training room and that, and he's fully clothed and stuff like that, and he's having a laugh and a giggle. So it looks like he's fully available. Although Ange's presses tomorrow, I would hazard a guess that we have a fully fit squad. The only players that we've got to find out about tomorrow are Sessegnon, Lo Celso, and Solomon.
Yep.
Apart from that, I think everyone else would be available.
Yep. Awesome. And Dragon These Nuts, it's very good to have you. I like to just say your name because it's hilarious. Very, very nice to have you in the house today with us. Yeah. Well, I mean, with that, you're right. Our bench does become stronger. We need all of our bench players to perform under Ange because, like you said, most likely they're gonna get minutes. I wanted to ask a question that's a little random before we get into some other more planned stuff. But it looks like Troy Parrott is having a wonderful loan spell at Excelsior. Do you think that there's a chance at all that he comes back to Spurs? Do you think that would you put Parrott underneath Dane Scarlett right now, do you think? I just haven't seen enough of either of them play. I'm wondering if you've seen either, if you know what I mean, if you think the team's got one earmarked to maybe stay and one to go.
I think the player for next season, right? If I'm looking at what we've got at the moment and we're not going to buy anyone else, I think the other understudy next season will be Veliz.
Your boy, your man.
Veliz is going to get his chance now at Sevilla.
Which is a great club. And
I think with the money that they've paid for Veliz, I would have thought that he'd probably be up in the pecking order. Now, I'll have someone like Adrian who'll disagree with me, and Adrian will turn around and say to me that his version of events is that we would need to keep Troy Parrott because of the home numbers, the homegrown numbers. But Troy Parrott, to me, I'll be honest, I haven't watched him in Holland because you don't get much Dutch football here at all from the Eredivisie unless you go looking for it. And I don't have, and I pay enough for my satellite TV, and I've got so many different providers that I pay to, but I don't have a provider that I pay to get Eredivisie football. Now, by all accounts, he's doing well out for Excelsior Rotterdam. He's getting goals, he's getting assists. I suppose the turnaround or the GAs that he's getting compared to the games that he's played, for me, I don't think are brilliant and outstanding, but they're good enough, so to speak. It's difficult. For me, out of the three of them, I think Veliz has a good second half at Sevilla, and that sets him up for coming back for Tottenham as an understudy to Richie and Sonny. That's without us going out and purchasing another player, because you're asking me the question about this. So for me, Veliz is higher up than Scarlett and Parrot for me.
All right, sweet.
I mean, let's be fair. The person who's got it within their gift at the moment is Scarlett, because Parrot and Villiers are out on loan. So if you're going to utilise 16 players as your match day, because you're going to play with 11 and make 5 substitutions, if they're going to have to mess around with the front three and you want a focal point, then Scarlett's going to be the man that you're bringing off the subs bench to do that. So, and because Scarlett's still at the club at the moment, it's within his gift to show up and, you know, to get into the manager's mentality, into his head, and also, you know, put himself about. So, you know, he's going to be mentioned more often. The other two, they're away from the club. I mean, I don't know. Have you seen the interview with Johan Lang?
I haven't.
Okay,
No, I didn't know there was one.
Tottenham Hotspur TV. There is an interview with Johan Lang. It's only 9 minutes long, where they talk to him about, you know, what his thoughts are, because he only came in November, blah blah blah. And it's interesting that they talk about the pathway for the people that they've loaned to other clubs, and just because they've loaned them to other clubs, it doesn't mean they're not watching what they're doing, because they're tracking their stats and everything. You know, them chips that they put in the back of their when they're playing.
Yeah, they're little like sports bra looking things.
So they're getting that sent back to them as well. So they've got all the information on all the players that are loaned out as well. So that's interesting. So, but to me, out of the three of them, I believe Villiers will be the understudy come next season. But it's within Scarlett's gift at the moment, because the other two are out on loan. And so Scarlett's the one that's going to get minutes now.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of a head start
as a backup striker. Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. And I hope he performs. I like the build change in him. The fact that he looks like he's growing up. He's put some meat on his bones. I know that's not like the most important thing. Obviously, there are plenty of slight players that get it done and can do it. But playing as a striker in the Premier League, I think you've got to have, you know, some strength and some heft to you, just a bit. You know, you've got to be able to hold off some strong defenders. So that's making me happy to see him at least looking bigger. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been impressed with the numbers I've seen. I know that in Holland that the standards maybe of the league, you know, are you could look at those and there's question marks there maybe, but you know, you can only, as we always say, you can only play who's in front of you. You can only, and he's doing a good job by all accounts. So go Troy Parrott, big up. Hopefully he has, even if it doesn't work out well here, it's looking like that loan move might get us maybe some more money from him if we do decide to sell him. You know what I mean? His value might have gone up at least.
We're saying that by all reports, like, excuse me, people, by all the reports that are coming out at the moment on, if you believe in the ITKs and the media, is those. The person that's really impressed on loan is Jed Spence at Genoa, and Genoa are already considering of taking him and making him a permanent fixture and buying him.
Sweet.
Now I know we're going to take a hit on it, because I think the loan deal had a obligation to buy or something or something to buy, and I think it was like 8 to 10 million. So you're taking a hit because you spent 15, 16 or whatever million it was. You're taking a hit, but Genoa look like they do want him, so that's interesting.
And the fact that we're willing to take that hit means to me maybe we've turned a corner as a club, and Daniel Levy isn't hanging on to every player to get the top value anymore. You know, we've all been kind of crying out for that, and you know, saying we do have to take a hit sometimes. So,
but it's the nature of the beast, Colin, because I keep repeating myself and speaking.
No money.
There's no money about, and that's the thing we saw in this winter transfer window. There's no money about, not just in this country, but in the whole of Europe. There wasn't money about anywhere. Now, whether people are saving up to get their books in order and give it another hit in the summer, and maybe spend some money in the summer, but in the summer we're not going to see transfers windows spending the billions of pounds that are previously spent in other summers as well. We're not going to see it.
You think that's done completely, probably, right?
So therefore, like I said the other day, 95% of deals now, you won't. 95% of the time, whatever you've paid for a player, if you've been loose in your spending, you're not going to get that money back. Only on 5% will someone hold their value or be greater than what you bought them for, because the spending has been absolutely mental. People have been buying buying players, and I mean, we can all go hark back to Chelsea, you know, and there's stupid erratic spending on two midfielders they bought for over 100 million. That they're nowhere near worth 100 million. And Declan Rice, 105 million is not worth 100 million either. But then by looking at that, it inflates the other prices of other players that have been sold since. But if you look now, then prices have come right down. It's coming more to reality. If there is a reality, it's come more to reality.
I like it. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it's gonna be really interesting to see. Like you were saying the other day, I think the days of those crazy transfer fees are over. And I think Daniel Levy was kind of preparing for this. Is it weird? I'm praising the guy. We're probably gonna lose viewers like right away, but it seems like the guy knows what he's talking about. You know,
he didn't know 10 years ago this was going to happen. So I'm not praising him at all because he didn't know this 10 years ago this would happen. I mean, I look at the summer spending, right, and I put it to the people in the chat, and it's not because we're Tottenham supporters, but within a couple of days of Maddison. There was 3 deals that were done, for 3 midfielders. Maddison, Mount, Havertz, right? Havertz went for 65 million to Arsenal. Mount went to Man United for 55 with 55 plus 5. And we got Maddison for 40 million, right? And I put it to everybody. At the time, which was the best deal? On paper, when it was done at the time. And after watching these players play this season, which has been the best deal, and all roads lead back to one player. Even though that player may have been out with injury, all roads lead back to one player out of them 3. However, do you think if Manchester United tried to sell Mount, do you think they'll get the 55 plus 5? If they tried, and if Arsenal tried to sell Havertz, do you think Havertz are getting 65 back for him? And if you tried to sell Maddison, has Maddison retained his 40 million fee?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. So this is what I'm getting to. It doesn't have to be the top end of players. The spending that people have been spending on players, 95%, you're not going to get your money back because then transfer fees are going to be coming down. They're not going to be extraordinarily high like they were. They're going to come down. You have to find that equilibrium. And it's not only in England, but the rest of Europe has to find that as well. You look at the Italian clubs that they sell. The Italian clubs are not so colloquial like they are here in England, whereby, you know, we can't do deals with this club and do deals with that club. In Italy, they sell and they trade amongst each other, right? Mm-hmm. You don't see no £100 million fees. They don't have that in Italy. In Spain, they trade amongst each other. You don't see this. In this country, you see this. In England, you see this all the time.
It is weird. It seems like it might be more tribal almost, or you know what I mean, something like that. It's only recently I feel like that not all, but most English people support the national team, right? Hasn't there even been kind of bad blood there with people not wanting to support the national team because ex-player plays for them?
In Germany, you have players that transfer within clubs in Germany, but they don't say to each other, give us 60 million for him. It's ridiculous. It only happens here. But what I'm saying is that the proof in the pudding was in the winter window, and I think that from now on, you're not going to see these mad inflated prices. When we keep talking about English tax and stuff like that, that English tax ain't going to be as high as what it once was. It may still be higher than a normal transfer of a foreign player, but it won't be to the extremities that it has been up until now because there's no money. There's no money. Anyway, we're losing the chat, right? Bob Down Under says, with a full squad, we were undefeated until the infamous Chelsea game. This will be the first game we have taken them all since that game, but with Richie firing, should be a strong finish to the season. Good evening, Manny, or good afternoon, Manny, wherever you are. It says Scarlet and Parrot sounds like a pirate movie.
It does. It does.
Towards the end of the week, he always appears, Tot Spurs, always towards the end of the week. Big up Jose and Colin and all. By all accounts, we're still in the title race. Hard task, but possible. Starting with the Seagulls. So there is to do.
Hell yes. I love the attitude. David Clark.
Good afternoon to David. So David's got 3 comments that we've got to catch up with. So all indications regarding next season is that Spurs will buy another number 9. Therefore, Parrot nor Scarlett will be our backup striker next season. And David Clark has also said, will not be our backup strikers next season, and then stated that having lived in Leicester for many decades, Maddison's by far the best buy in the country. Then we've got Audio Artisan has come in with Joe Rodon is playing well at Leeds. We'll probably get a decent fee for him. Yeah,
What a weird one that was.
They were talking about 14 to 15 million for him. If they get that, then I think we bought him for 12.
I believe you're correct. That's the number that sticks out in my mind.
If you get 12 or more for him, then you've either retained or made money on him. Joe Rodon's a decent player. He just hasn't been given the opportunity anywhere, and he is a decent player.
He really is. Yeah.
Audio has come in with easily Maddison plus Winks going the other way is great business. It certainly was.
I just can't believe how well Winks seems to be doing. I know they're in the championship, but Winks has showed that he's not an absolute shit player. I don't know. I think it worked out. It's not like we pulled the wool down over Leicester's eyes and gave him, trash. It's like Winks has worked out well for them.
Winks can play football. Let's get it straight. Winks can play football, but the systems that we've played before Ange came across did not suit his type of football. When he first came on the scene under Poch, he was a really decent footballer. He played in a system that suited him, and he played well.
Kept everything ticking over.
You had teams looking at him in Spain and that at the time, and comparing him to some of the Spanish players and the type of football they were playing at the time. But obviously,
he does have a Spanish grandpa. So.
He had injuries, and obviously the managers have changed and that, and he's gone. And at the end of the day, Winks is a decent player, and he will do a job. Or he has done a job at the moment for Leicester. Leicester, in my opinion, will come up this season, and he won't be sold. He will be in and around the first team next season. He can play football. It's just that it didn't fit the systems and styles that we were playing, and then all of a sudden, everyone jumped on the bandwagon and said, "We want him out of our club." Anyway, he's gone now. But Audio, yeah, you're quite right. The business that we did was really good. Just a harmless potato. Well, Premier League clubs are meeting this week to discuss replacing profit and sustainability rules. So let's wait and see. Maybe it was a small break from the madness. Right. The sustainability and profit rules that they're looking at is they're looking at the rules that the UEFA have got or in place for European competition. But for European competition, I think, if I remember rightly, you can only spend up to 70% of your income. So, but that only works and tends to work for the teams that are in European competition. Teams outside of European competition would benefit more from the Premiership rules than the UEFA rules. So therefore, because it goes to a vote, how many teams enter Europe each season?
How many teams are in Europe each season?
7 English sides.
Yeah.
Right.
Across all of the European competitions.
Yeah. And how many Premiership teams are there?
20.
So if you have a vote, you'd like to think that the ones that are out of Europe will not vote for it. They want to keep the Premiership rules, right, and not the UEFA rules. So I don't think it will be voted in, because it's not only the 20 teams in the Premiership, but this would also affect the teams that come up from the Championship, because they'd be hit with the same stick, and it's unfair on them. So I've got a belief that although some people, and it's probably the big clubs that are driving this. I don't think Tottenham would be in support of this at the moment, but I think the big clubs are driving this, and they want the change to help them out. And I don't think it will happen. I don't think it will get voted, because it doesn't. It only helps out a few teams. The majority will not benefit from it. In fact, they'll be in a worse position for it. So, but we'll wait and see.
Right. Yeah.
Mr. Mod is doing his work somewhere. I don't know where he is, but he's doing his work. He says, hit the like button, sub to 2 channels, and he's put both the channels up there. Thank you very much, Top Spurs. He says, haha, I'm always about Jose lurking in the dark. Sean says, Colin, I'll be at your house for the game Saturday. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah.
We've got Daniel Lee saying big up. Hello, Daniel Lee. How are you?
What's up, Daniel?
Senor Leo.
Hola, mi amigo.
And Totspur saying 14 out of the 20 have to vote it in for it to take effect.
We're good. We're good.
I don't think it will happen. As I said, it only benefits the few, not the many. And teams that don't play in Europe and teams that are lower down the league it'll If they're affected now, it'd be even worse for them. I don't think it's going to be voted in. It's your big clubs like your Man Uniteds and probably your Chelseas, your Arsenals, and that. So some of the big clubs probably want this in, but put it this way: if this was voted in now, Chelsea would be in bigger trouble than what they're going to be in anyway. So, at the end of the day, you've got to be careful what you wish for, in my eyes. Bob Down Under, in Aussie, both our main codes, rugby league and Aussie rules, have a salary cap, meaning all sides in the competition maximum salary per season is the same. There's quite a few competitions that have salary caps, to be honest.
In the US, it's similar to that too for MLS soccer. Yeah.
And we have Nick in the house talking.
Wonder where you were, buddy.
Sorry, I'm late. And then you have Manny's talking to Daniel. Yeah, I don't really like using big up either. You'll notice that a lot of people say big up, big up, big up. I don't like using it. I just say, all right, mate.
It sounds corny. It does sound a little corny.
After a while,
especially with American people saying it, because that's a phrase that never came out of my mouth until I met you.
I think that's where it all started. The high five and the thumbs up and the big up, and it's all started in over the pond over there where Colin's from.
Sorry guys.
David Clark, Winks is playing out of his skin in Leicester, but his job at Leicester is a holding role to win the ball back and just get it to the players who can cause danger in the opponent. He doesn't have to create. Which is exactly
that type of player is important, though.
That's exactly what he did when he went to Samp on loan, and they called him the washing machine, because this is exactly what he did. All the Artisan, most of our academy products look good in the championship. Going back to like Pritchard and Nabika.
Pritchard, man,
struggled in the Prem. Shit. Only Adam Smith has had a decent and long Premiership career.
Damn, Alex Pritchard, though, that brings me back. I thought he was going to be the next Christian Eriksen or something. You know what I mean?
Alex Pritchard, did you know he was at Sunderland?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
He went on strike. This is recently, only a couple of weeks ago. Went on strike and said he pulled out of the matchday squad and said, "I'm never playing for you guys again." And
what? What the hell happened there?
Because he got tapped up, didn't he? He got tapped up, and he got to move to Birmingham. I think it was. So he got tapped up and he got moved to Birmingham. So there you go. What
an interesting chap.
And then you've got good evening, Paul Brown. Paul Brown saying, hopefully all is well as usual, Coys.
Yes, sir. Jose's got his workday done, so he's a happy man.
Colin's yet to go to work. Just the harmless potatoes coming with US sports can afford salary cap because there is no other basketball, baseball, or American football league. That's the difference to soccer. It's a global sport. If there would be a salary cap in Europe, the players would go to Asia. An interesting take.
It is an interesting take. And I can't really agree or disagree. I just don't have enough info to do that. They definitely. I think the Saudi Arabian league would be fishing around. They'd be sniffing around more players for sure. One thing that I wanted to talk about, Jose, before we get it's getting late, but blue cards. I read this and I want to pull the article back up, but it's an article on the Telegraph, and if I'm not mistaken, that's not like the shittiest of publications, right? Like that's there.
It's a broadsheet. I wouldn't say it's the best either, but yeah, it's a broadsheet. But it's not just.
But it's not the Sun or anything.
Again, but the thing is, it's being put in all the papers now. The Telegraph probably kicked it off and done the first one, but all the papers are now reporting this. So tell us all about the blue cards.
It's just saying exclusive. The new card will see players removed from the field for 10 minutes if they commit a cynical foul or show dissent. It also says that 2 blues equals a red, similar to a yellow card. So it would limit, players from just doing it over and over and over again. It says that top-tier competitions, including the Premier League, will be excluded from initial testing in the professional game in case the protocols require further refinement. But elite trials could still begin as soon as the summer. So we won't be seeing this, obviously, this season in the Premier League. But in the summer, this could include FA Cup and the Women's FA Cup, with the Football Association considering volunteering next season's competitions for testing. That's the part that I think is the most that affects us the most is the FA Cup and the Football Association volunteering those competitions to test this. What does everybody in the chat think? Blue cards, Sinbad. It's very similar to hockey. They have a in ice hockey, or they have a similar rule. And I'd be excited to know what the chat thinks, and you yourself, Jose. I think it's kind of fucking stupid. Sorry for my language. I try not to curse on here, but it just happens. I think it's kind of dumb. But
What, do you want my opinion on blue cards?
please, yes.
Right. David Clark is in the chat still. David Clark, I think, is slightly older than me. I still play football, David, at the moment. And to me, football has always been a contact sport. It's been a sport that provides emotions. And it can give you highs and lows. And I played in a time where, and I still play because I'm not playing professional football, but I still play now in a time where referee says this is offside, it's offside. Referee says it's a free kick, it's a free kick. And you get on, you take what the referee says, you get on with the game. None of this crap, let's get AI in, let's start drawing lines, let's take 7 minutes to find something wrong because we don't want to give the goal. Let's find something wrong and let's go back 17 phases of play to try and
foul in the build up or
try
something.
and find something that happened. The ball was out, but 17 phases back. You know, at the end of the day, it's all a load of crap and it's diminished the game. Bringing in blue cards, well, it diminished the game even more.
Agreed.
Unlike rugby where you get sin bin cards, right? That's if you make high tackles and stuff like that. So instead of receiving a yellow card, you get a sin bin. So you go off the pitch for 10 minutes, right? And then if you get a red card in rugby, then you're sent off. So it's the same as playing football. Football, you get a yellow card, that you've been booked, you've been cautioned, you get a second yellow, you get a red. But
right
at the end of the day, of bringing in blue cards, come on, you know, if you don't want football anymore, then bring all this stuff in and then just say football's not what it is anymore. You bring in all these rules and you bring in all these changes, and I'll tell you what, companies will step away from the game and they'll find something else to spend their money on. Fans will, companies will. Companies won't want to show football if it goes down this route. And, you know, they'll go to another sport and they'll start putting their energies and their monies into that. And football will just fall flat on its face. It's absolute crap, the people that are coming up with these ideas. And the people that come up with these ideas...
They're not football people.
I've never played the game in their lives. Never, ever played the game in their lives. In my opinion, that is.
No, I agree with you fully. Yeah, it's just really weird. It's just really weird. When I saw that today, I was like, no way. And the fact that they're willing to try at the FA Cup, it just sounds like a disaster. They can hardly even get things correct nowadays. And with all, like you said, the VAR decisions going back and back and back and lasting forever, not being able to celebrate a goal, they can't even implement correctly what's already there. You know what I mean? Why throw in something else that's just gonna make it all even more confusing and difficult? How do they say, oh, that foul deserved a blue card, but this one deserved a yellow card? And you know what I mean? It's where you draw the line. It adds a lot more subjectivity to the referee's job, which is already hard, especially when you have 5 players coming up and surrounding them and being like, what the hell? And I know they've tried to cut that out too, which is nice. That's one thing that is nice. I'll put that out there. I am a big fan of players getting cards for dissent and for being like little shits to the ref, because I don't think that you should do that. Like you were saying, the ref says something, that's kind of just how it goes. That's what Ange says too. You know, the referees were like cops. You just took what they said and you played you went on with the game. There was no surrounding these referees and crying and complaining and getting them to change their mind on things. But yeah, I just think adding these blue cards would just add another layer of that bullshit to the game. The subjectivity. Everyone in the chat seems to agree as well.
Yeah,
Not only is there lots of love,
considering the arguments between this yellow and red, I fear that the idea of yellow, red, or blue, more arguments over ref decisions.
Yes. Yes.
Hotspurs saying no blue cards. What a joke! Football will become bad enough with VAR.
Hell yeah.
David Clark is saying, don't change our game's rules any further. They've already ruining our great game. Rugby union is now dead because of so-called high tackle, and this will make our game worse. Just a harmless potato says, pure chaos. When do they show yellow? When is it a blue? What if a player gets a blue and then a yellow? Dekaru said, in rugby, it's still only 2 cards. The question should be should a yellow be 5 or 10 minutes off the pitch or not? A third card, no other sport does that. It's a little crazy. Dragons D nuts. How long before we get football equivalent of a 3-point line? Daniel Lee says sin bin rules have changed a little bit in rugby. Even then, you're in your sin bin now. They still review it, and you can get the card upped to a red while you're in the sin bin. And David Clark said more or less the same thing. So, do you know the rules of rugby, Colin? So in rugby, if you make a tackle that's deemed high or whatever, or you get yellow carded. Whilst you're in the sin bin for 10 minutes, another team reviews that tackle or what you get sent off by. So you're still in the sin bin. You've got to do your 10 minutes, but they get 10 minutes to analyze,
pick apart, and try to get you out of the game.
And if they analyze it and they believe that card should have been upped, then you are sent off.
Can you imagine? That would piss me off so much. I'm already sitting in there pissed, waiting for going back in, waiting to play, and then they're like, "Oh, actually."
But I don't stop the game because that's to the human eye, to the referee. He deemed that to be a yellow, so you're sin binned, right? And then afterwards, the cameras come in and they do all that shenanigans. So the game carries on. The game carries on because you're in the sin bin for 10 minutes. The game just carries on, and when it carries on, then you then leave after that. So
wild. Yeah, that seems frustrating, and it would just lead to some shit like that, and it would definitely just further ruin the game. I loved growing up and playing soccer. I'll call it soccer. I'm not afraid. I loved growing up and playing soccer because it was a game that just happened. It just went. You played it. The game began, and you played until halftime, and then you played until the game was over. And play wasn't really stopped. And when play was stopped, it was quick, and it was for a free kick or dead ball of some variety, and you'd get the game going again. I liked that. I really dislike American football for just how much how broken up it is, and how there's 30 seconds of play, I feel like, for every 3 minutes of break time. And I don't want soccer to become American football. I really don't. And so, yeah, I just thought I would get everybody's opinion, but it seems like everybody is on the same page. Jose, do you have time for a keep, bench, and sell, or do you need to
No, I've got time. I'm just reading some of these comments. So Mile High Hotspur says, it works. So Leo's saying it works in hockey because it's such a fast-paced sport, a smaller rink, plus they have line changes. Can't see something like that happening in football. Listen, we add any more to football, right? And this is my personal opinion. You add any more to football, and football will no longer be football. And like I said, the people that invest time and money into football, and for the time and money, I mean fans who invest time and money, will probably walk away if silly rules continue to spoil the game. And the people that sponsor football, that put money into football and that, if it becomes as radical as this and then it becomes crap and the fans walk away from it, then why are the sponsors going to put money into something when the people that they're trying to attract through sponsorship are walking away from the game? So therefore, to me, it's ludicrous. The one thing I will say, Colin, is the PGMO have recently met, right? And this morning, the decisions were VAR works, but the only part that doesn't work for them is the fan experience. So whereby people in the stadium, when you're checking something, right, it takes far too long and no one in the stadium is updated.
Right. So at home on TV, you are. Right.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
So they're saying the only thing they need to do is update the fans quicker in the stadium, and then that would probably take away a lot of the ambiguity. Now, I listened to that today and I thought to myself, what a pile of fucking shit.
Thank you. Okay, I was hoping.
And the reason why I thought that was, if you're going to do the same thing, right, and all it is you're going to get the referee to tell the crowd, number 9, offside. And that's all they're going to say, because that's what they did in the Women's World Cup. They didn't talk through the period of the passage of play and that. They just said, number 9, offside or whatever. And that's all they said, right? Now, The only thing about, that doesn't take away the fact that VAR looks for 17 phases beforehand to find the tiniest thing to disallow a goal, right? So what are you going to say? Number 3, ball out of play. But that could have happened 3 minutes ago. Do you see what I mean? So to me, the PGMOL are so out of touch because they're saying the VAR works perfectly, and the only thing that needs to improve is the fan experience. And to me, that is absolute crap completely. At the end of the day, you know, the way to do it, if you're going to bring in, if you want to go down this route, which I think is completely wrong, by the way, people, and I don't agree with it, is if you want to check for offside, then a bit like your goal line technology, where they have a buzzer that tells them the ball's gone over the line, right? Then have AI to draw them lines automatically. So
in like a second.
So you've got to in the ball, and then you know it's offside. But then if you do that, then you're taking away having linesmen and then having a referee. There is no point. If you're going to automate the game, then there's no point having linesmen and referees. And it takes away from is it English Football Association rules? Because the football was founded in England. So the founder members were in England, and whatever the rules were, the rules always included referees and linesmen. So basically, you're taking all that away.
It seems like they're trying to take it away without taking it away, if that makes sense. Like they're trying to do that by making them obsolete, but without actually removing them from the game.
But to me, then what I'm going to say to that is, you will lose the supporters. The supporters won't want to watch the game anymore. They're not going to invest the time and effort to follow a team where it's being ruined by those around them, right? Which means you can't see football, you can't have the emotion, you can't have everything that you would normally have. So people will walk away from it. And if they walk away from it, the fan walks away from it and says, I ain't putting up with this and I don't want this. Then the people that are putting money into the game, the sponsors, into clubs and stuff like that, they'll walk away as well. And then you'll have no football.
The rules will probably change back.
And that's the way to do it. I mean, if you look at the rest of Europe and the other thing that happened today, right, is that they did a report on referees explaining their decisions. Right?
I saw, yeah.
Right, so over here, the referees, the PGMOL, they keep their info for up to 30 days, then release it. So whatever happened 30 days ago, they then release it. So it becomes in the public domain. So then we get programs over here, which is Ref Watch, and they can go back on games and tell you about what happened 30 days ago. Other countries in Europe, they release it an hour after the game. So in Spain, they have VAR, and 1 hour after the game finishes, they release all the documentation and all the video evidence for VAR. 1 hour after the game. Not 30 days, 1 hour after the game.
That's cool.
In Germany, they have VAR. And what they do in Germany is, after the game, they interview the referee. And if there's been any contentious issues, the referee will turn around and say, this is the reason why I took this action, and this is the reason why we did X, Y, and Z. They don't do that here. What have you got to hide?
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like it's almost like the cops in America protecting each other from bad decisions. You know what I mean?
VAR is the same everywhere, Colin. Right? Carte blanche. VAR is managed and run the same in every country.
Yeah.
Like, let's say before VAR, the rules of football are clear to everybody in the world. You know what the rules of football are. You know you've got a referee and 2 linesmen, and you know what the rules of football are, right? So everyone has to abide by them rules. Well, according to VAR, we're not all abiding by the same rules because people have got different interpretations of what they're doing with it in different countries. It makes a mockery of all. You just listen. These people have just got to go back, and if they've got nothing better to do in their lives,
then change the rules to a game that already works and has worked for hundreds of years.
Yeah, go to a big city, find a corner street in one of the big cities, and you'll probably get someone that's selling some stuff there for you that you can smoke and go and chill out, man, and go and have a bong or something. Go and chill out, because stop looking at something that doesn't interest you and that you're making worse.
Yeah.
My rant is over.
I loved it, though. I loved it. So did Top Spurs. Top Spurs says loved it. Manny says Jose is 100% right. I kind of skipping around. Talking Beer, though, says we're describing what happened to American football. That shit leads to 4-hour-long games. Exactly. David Clark talking about the NFL. He says it's a truly great sport. I don't know if I agree, but that's okay. Everyone's got their own opinion. Audio Artisan then says, yeah, what if the ref mistakenly sin bends somebody for 10 minutes and then later the ref is proved wrong? You might have to play with 10 men for 10 minutes because of the ref. 100%. 100%. Yeah, we just need fans will start invading pitches when they hear what VAR is saying. Yes, I was going to say if there are protests already for things like, wanting a new owner or owners to step down or step aside, and there will definitely be protests if something like this happens. I think it will lead to huge unrest because football is a people's sport. I mean, it belongs to the fans. It belongs to the people. It belongs to the supporters of these teams, the people that have lived in these areas forever and gone and watched these teams for generations. I mean, football belongs to them, not to these tards making the rules. You know what I mean? I just hate it. Makes me mad. Makes me really mad. Dakar is saying I played. Oh, okay, sweet. But yeah, I mean, Daniel, he says, so let's say the ref, it's a blue card and the ref gives, and then it happens to be quite a dirty tackle. The ref misjudged. Can VAR overrule the blue card and make it a red card? Probably.
I don't know. Colin, what did you say? Because you read out the thing. What did they say? The blue card is there for dissent.
Yeah. So, okay. Commit a cynical foul or show dissent.
So it's committing a cynical foul or showing dissent. So there's no more yellow card from committing a cynical foul. Now they've got a blue card.
Yeah.
So what's happened to the yellow card then?
Exactly.
Because dissent is a yellow as well. So what's happened to the yellow card?
Exactly. Exactly. And earlier, I want to just throw out there. I said a word that I don't like to say, and that isn't a good word. I'm not going to repeat it. But I said it, and I apologize sincerely for saying it. To anybody that was offended, you probably should be. That was not cool on my part, and I take it back. But anyway, we'll move past that. But yeah, where does the yellow card go? Where does the yellow card go? It's a good question.
I just giggle at all these fans and owners, players, coaches who scream for VAR because they said it was costing their teams millions, but didn't realise it would be measured in millimetres, really. Got enough. Smithy saying that I'm totally right. Bob Down Under is saying any further rule changes should be focused on keeping players on the field, 11 versus 11 for a fair match. Yeah. You can only have a fair match, Bob Down Under, if you don't have lunatics on the pitch that are going out to scythe players down. But I understand what you're saying. Daniel says players will be scared even more to commit any sort of foul in the game and literally have no bloody tackling at all. David Clark says give football 10 years and coaches will be allowed to play their joker, like in It's a Knockout. Your joker means that you can bring a player back who is red carded, or if no red, reverse to yellows. Manny says rugby is hard as F, played by gentlemen. The rules are respected. Talking Beer is saying the NFL is terrible and it's unwatchable. Dragons D is saying VAR should only be for semi-auto side calls and goal line technology. Daniel Lee is saying what's yellow then now then true.
Green. Yeah, what's a yellow then if the blue card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've caught up with the chat. What you got next for me, boy?
We got some keeper West Hams, brother.
No. Keep on West Ham.
We got two keeper West Hams today, bro.
Two keeper West Hams.
We got two. All right, you ready?
I'm ready, boss.
All right, let's do it. Everybody, hello. Welcome to the internet's favorite Tottenham game show. My mom is here in the comments, guys. Check out this comment below. She says, hello all. Like and subscribe and join in all the fun chat. She's got it. She's right on the money, everybody. So big up, Julie. That's my mom.
Can I just give you some breaking news just before, right?
Please, yeah.
Did you know that Richarlison has been nominated for Player of the Month?
No, that is incredible, though. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not. What do you think about the? Yeah. you think about the goals that
Player
he
of the
scored,
month.
yeah, it makes sense. I mean, he deserves it. He's outscored like the entire Arsenal team or something like that. I mean, I don't think that's actually correct, but
And Van der Ven has been clocked as the fastest ever player.
faster than Kyle Walker.
His speed has been clocked at 37.55.
That's like
Right.
that's
And when Usain Bolt won his 100-meter gold, his average speed was clocked at 35.38. So
wow, so there's a 2-second difference.
35.38 is Usain, and Van der Ven is 35.55.
Sheesh, Jesus, that is insane.
So that shows you, and also, that's it. And also that Spence is looking like the deal will go through. Sorry, I'm just looking at We Are Tottenham TV because they released something 16 minutes ago.
Big up to We Are Tottenham
and
TV,
that's their headline. So
nice.
I've nicked it off them just because we're here. So I've nicked it off them.
Yeah. They're good people. We Are Tottenham TV. Loving them. My mom says "prue," and that she knew that he was nominated. She knows everything. She
knows more than us. She should be here.
She's in the
know. In the show.
She should. Come on, ma. Man, he says blue card. Send him to Chelsea. Blue Fulhams. I love it. And then we've got. Yeah. Okay. Are you guys ready? So we're gonna start with the one I made before. So I asked Jose for one today, but I made one before he got.
So if you've made one, I have to guess it.
Yeah, and then I'll guess yours.
Okay.
All right. So here's mine.
What's Colin's one then? Show me.
We've got Sandro, Wanyama, and Pierre. We're going defensive midfielders today.
I'm sending Højbjerg all day long to West Ham. I'm not even going to say why and why not. I think people know. He's going to West Ham. Now I have to make the choice between the other two.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult choice to make because Mr. Tottenham is Sandro.
Exactly. He didn't have as long of a career as with Spurs, I don't think, as Wanyama did, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, and with Wanyama had one great season at Spurs before injuries crippled him up and that. But I'm going to go on longevity. And with the longevity, I'm going to have to go for Sandro. I'm going to keep them in that order. I'm keeping Sandro. I'm benching Wanyama. And I'm selling PEH.
Boom, PEH. I'm sorry, bro. And like everyone always points out, he did have a good season or so. Oh yeah, look at this. That rocket against Liverpool. I know she's talking about Wanyama already. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to disagree with what you're saying, Jose. It sucks that Højbjerg has looked so bad lately because I feel like it's tarnishing what could be a good reputation. If he would have just left the club, I feel like last summer, I don't think anybody would be, people might look back fondly on the guy. Audio Artisan, though, has got his answer, and he says, keep Vicky, bench Sandro, and sell PEH.
Which is what David Clark has said. David Clark is keeping Wanyama, benching Sandro, selling Højbjerg.
Dang, and then Todd Spurs has come in.
He's coming the same as me. He's agreed with me, yeah.
That's what I was going to put too. I have a big soft spot for Sandro. I think Sandro was a really cool player. Like you said, Mr. Tottenham. Chris Callan interviewed him the other day, but there was like some audio issues at the beginning, and I kind of found it hard to watch. I'm going to have to try to rewatch that.
So just to harmless potato, yeah, Usain Bolt is quicker than Van der Ven. But what we're saying is that when they were measured for their speed, and I think Van der Ven's was measured over him running the length of the pitch. Van der Ven is obviously a 100-meter sprinter because he's not as quick as Bolt, but not by much either. So which would make him an actual sprinter as well. But Van der Ven is the quickest player out there at the moment. But yeah, it's just for comparison. The numbers were for comparison only. But if I was to try and compare Van der Ven to another Premiership player or a bunch of Premiership players, then he's going to be elitist over them all. So
faster than Kyle Walker too. For me, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
To me, he's just like the epitome of speed. I agree with Tot Spurs and with you. And it looks like a lot of the chat agrees that we're going to sell Højbjerg.
Anyone else want to have a go before? anyone else
Mom
want to
says
have a go
spaghetti is
before?
nice. Oh, sorry. I keep
I'm
cutting you
just
off.
saying, does anyone else want to have a go before we go on to the next one?
Let's switch it. If anyone wants to have a go, we'll go back. But boom, there it is. So you've got you made me pick between Van der Vaart,
I
Gareth
didn't do
Bale.
nothing. I picked mine. You told me to send you one, which I did. I didn't realise
Yeah.
you had done one. But this is the one that I've got for people. I've got 3 players that played together more or less. So I've got Rafael van der Vaart, Gareth Bale, and Luka Modric.
Sorry that Modric is in a Madrid jersey. It was very hard to find a picture I could use where he was in a Spurs kit. So just imagine that white says Spurs and that blue is a little darker. You can do it. Use your imaginations, folks. But yeah, this one's tougher. This one's a lot tougher. Real quick. Yeah, Julie, mom's not happy about this one. Audio Artisan's got his answer in already. Keep Bale, bench Modric, sell Van der Vaart. Wow. I didn't think VDV would be getting sold. Bale, Modric for talking beer. So he's keeping and benching Bale. I don't think that's allowed, buddy. You got to put Van der Vaart in there somewhere, my man. Yikes! This is tough. I absolutely think that Modric should.
It's easy, isn't it? Because you've only got 2 people respond at the moment, and no one's called me any names, so it's quite an easy one today.
Well, I was gonna say you either have to have VDV or Modric start, but then the other one has to leave because I want Gareth Bale on the bench. I want Bale to come off the bench and terrorize people with the speed that he's got. Even now, he's got enough to come off the bench and upset people and upset defenses. So Gareth Bale is going to be my bench player, but I just have to choose if I want Van der Vaart or if I want Modric. They're both great players. They both pull the strings. Modric from a little further back. Van der Vaart, had more of a goal threat. Played further up the pitch. This is tough, but I think okay. So with me, keep Modric, bench Bale, sell Van der Vaart, and that's hard.
Say again. Keep who?
Modric.
You keep
bench
Modric.
Bale,
Yeah.
and then selling Van der Vaart, even though I don't want to sell Van der Vaart.
So this is your mum's. What your mum said. Keep Modric as he's aged well, bench Bale, and sell Van der Vaart. So you've gone exactly the same route as your mum.
She's smart. She's a smart lady.
So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it?
It does not. It does not.
There we go. Dragons D nuts.
Yeah, keep Bale, keep Modric, keep Van der Vaart. Oh my God, I just saw that's nice one. Yeah, if only.
Top Spurs is keeping Bale, benching VDV, and sending Modric.
Dang, Modric, man. I think he's getting sold short.
David Clark is keeping Van der Vaart, benching Bale, and selling Modric.
I feel like that's kind of how it has to be. This one is too hard night all, says Dekaru. Dekaru. Love you, buddy. Love you, man. Dekaru. And then we got Talking Beer saying Modric all day, but I want to start Bale. Clone Bale. Have that Bale on the bench. We tried to clone Bale with that Kenny McAvoy guy, but he just looked like him. He didn't play like him Wait, like that dragon. You did get called a name. It took a while, but you did get called a name. Lee Smithy says, keep Bale, bench Modric, send Van der Vaart. Yeah, man. Yeah. God, Bale was a machine. I literally can't believe that we had a player that was that good.
I think if someone did this to me, I'd be using the same terminology, Lee, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And then Mom's saying you can't go wrong. They're all class. 100% agree with that too. They are all class players. Richie, Sonny, Fona, Finnaby, Boiling Bunnies. You're gonna have to explain that one to me, Manny. I think that might be some Australian slang that I don't understand, my guy.
That's some street shit that I don't understand either.
Yeah, I think Manny's from Australia. I think that's some Australian stuff. So that's even harder to understand, for me at least. You guys got cool slang over there.
Be boiling bunnies. No, I don't understand it as well. I'm completely lost.
Yeah, no, but I loved it. Here's what I think Sonny is probably saying. Am I allowed to say bad words on here? I think so. I think
You're allowed to be an adult on here, yeah.
Well, this isn't very. I don't know. Sonny. So Sonny hasn't been playing. Richie's been scoring all the goals. I think here's what Sonny's going to be saying when he gets back for the game.
Could you please get up off the toilet? I got the shit, bitch.
That's gonna be Sonny. That's gonna be Sonny saying, "Hey, it's my turn. It's my turn. Get off the toilet, man. It's me. It's me." Dragon. Yeah. If we had all three now, Jesus, man. We'd be unbeatable. Bob down under too hard for him. Too hard for Bob. Big love, Bob. Big up, Bob. Yeah, it is difficult. I made the choice. I feel like you can do it. You're strong. You're a strong guy. I know it. You can do this. It's a hard choice, but it's not live or die. We're not going to hold you to it. And look, I'll give you a Dawson thumbs up to maybe coax you into doing it. Everyone could use a Dawson thumbs up sometimes. I feel like we missed that guy. I loved having him on the pitch. He was cool. Maybe I'll put him in the next keeper West Ham. Michael Dawson, baby. Sonny's going to be doing a little bit of this after he scores at the weekend. See, guys, I'm getting little videos. The quality of this is going up a little bit. There's some production quality for you guys. But guys, that is the end of Keeper West Ham. I'll switch back to the normal background. The game background is over. We'll switch to the jazz music because we are just about finished. It's been an hour and 26 minutes, right at an hour and a half. That's good. I'd say not too long, not too short. It's a good amount of time there. We talked about so many things today, guys. We've talked about blue cards. That's like the most important thing. What the heck, right? That is the most wild, wacky thing I've ever heard. Chang's comment at the very beginning that I started about, we'll know if Sun starts or not. I will put money on Sun starting. I think that Sun starts like for sure. You have an opinion on that, Jose?
Sun starts all day long.
Yeah. Yes.
Sun starts. Sun's captain Saturday all day long. Bissouma will be in the squad whether he starts or whether he's on the bench. We will have a full 11. Well, we'll have a full squad to pick from. We'll know more about the other three players, like I said, tomorrow after the presser. We'll know more about Cess, Lo Celso, and Solomon. But apart from them three, we have a full fit squad to pick from. It makes our starting 11 look good. It makes our bench look even stronger than what it has been recently, without them other three players I've just mentioned. But yeah, all things bode well. Just get handball started. Let's play football properly. Let's go out and smash Brighton.
Yes, absolutely. Apparently there was a hug between Sar and Sonny in training. I got to take a look and find that. Big up all, says Mom. Lee Smithy Smith says needs a Richie hat trick for 28-1.
Yeah,
dang, those are some good odds, my man.
If your mum seems to be ahead of you on the game on this, you need to get your mum to do your production for you and send you the flicks.
That's her whole job. I mean, my mom's a producer director for news, and she's also a teacher in broadcasting. She
needs to send you the flicks so you can get them all ready for your show, mate.
Absolutely, I got to get her on the payroll here. You guys are getting paid, right? You've been getting the checks I've been sending in the mail, Jose. Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, I look like a pirate radio DJ today, and I will go with that because I've always thought about having my own pirate radio station. I thought that would be so fun, but you can get in quite a bit of trouble for that.
Right. Just before I forget, right, tomorrow, guys, we have two shows. There's one at 11 in the morning GMT, which is Ladies Takeover, which will be hosted by Ash and Ellie. And that's tomorrow at 11 a.m. GMT, which makes it between 7 o'clock and 10 in the evening in Oz and in Asia, which would then make it 4:30 in the afternoon in India. And that's tomorrow for Ash and Ellie with Ladies Takeover. And then we'll have our usual show at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, which will be predictions. It will be the show with any news. We'll probably find out about the presser, so we'll be able to bring people up to date about the presser and also do predictions. And once we've done that, then people could be able to lock their predictions in for this weekend's football. So they're the two shows that we have coming up tomorrow.
Boom. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I also just want to say, Jose's channel. There's the link right there. El Tal Cockrell, Jose's personal channel.
I've given up doing this because, to be honest, I don't get any subscribers at all, and it'd be interesting because we get so many people come through the chat here, but people just not going over to the channel and subbing. Then the other day, it's interesting. The other day, for when we had Mia on, we set the people to try and get Mia to 1,250, and we managed to do that. But to ask people to come over to just like or sub to the channel, it becomes nigh on difficult. So I'm not sure of how much more I'm going to just keep saying the same shiz all the time.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I understand, but I'm still going to be fighting to get you up there, buddy. But we did it for Mia, so that's one good thing. Come on, give yourselves a round of applause, everybody. We did accomplish something. We got Mia up to the number she was looking for.
Yeah, woke up middle of the night, thought I would just have a cuppa, and now 1.5 later, I'm going back to bed. Thank you, chaps. Bob, have a good restful sleep, my man, and then have a really good day. Obviously, it's becoming daylight out there, so have a really good day down there, mate. And we'll catch up with you soon, Bob. But nice to have you on, my man.
Yes, absolutely. And I just wanted to add too, one more thing before we go. We've had a member show. I'm toying with the idea of doing 2 member shows in different time zones to make sure that everybody who wants to take part can take part. Jose and I will be talking more about that, but I'm thinking of doing one.
I think the easiest way to do it is to put something in the community section to ask people's opinions of what times would suit them. But you'd have to offer the times. Mm-hmm. And see what make a poll, maybe. That's a great idea. And see what comes back, and then from that you can then dictate on whether you can do 1 or 2 shows. Hello, Phil. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Hope you're good.
Big up, Phil. You caught us right at the end, Phil. We're heading out, but big up. And man, he says Bale for keep you uppies, VDB for funds, and Modric send him to Brighton to fight the Rockers. That one's past me too, right over my head, Manny. But I love you, man. I love you. All right. Well, guys, we've had some jazz. We've kind of quieted down. I like to get my voice really low and quiet and whispery. This is the end of the show, guys. We did it. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to everybody who is a channel member. We do appreciate that. That is a possibility now. You can do that if you would like. The link is pinned to the top of this chat. So if you would like to do that, go for it. It is definitely, we can do that now. Chris Agambar, big up, buddy. I just want to say thank you to everybody for their support. And wouldn't be anything without you guys here in the chat. So thank you. And then Jose's got something to say before we play the James Madison song. Oh, I think you're muted.
I said, have I? And then I thought, okay, I better say it. For me, it's, tune in tomorrow. We have 2 shows, like I said, tomorrow. And as always, it's come on, you Spurs. And in Ange, we trust. And thank you to everybody for joining me today.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.